All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Wagwan to all the mandem. This is Delvin, and this is MUFC Red Devils NCR. I'm joined with very special guest today, Ojus Bhai, Wali Bhai. Welcome to the stream. Couldn't ask for better people to kick off the first game of the season. It's been long. We've had to wait a little more than usual, but we're finally here. It is Manchester United versus Wolves on the opening day of the season. But before we get into it, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the first game week of the season. Like, what are your observations from the first game week? I mean, we've seen 18 out of the 20 teams play. I think we have much more information compared to the odds and the predictions and the early doors guesses of what early doors theories of what we had. So, what are your thoughts going into the first game week of the season? Ojus, I'll start with you.
Yep, I think a very premature thoughts that will develop right now. But whatever we are seeing that the newly promoted teams look to be in a state of play that they are not currently upgrading themselves to the level of the Premier League, which will slowly happen through the course of the season. But the teams which I expected to have a better game week was Aston Villa. Like the thrashing that they got was, I was not expecting that personally. And one more thing was that how Liverpool were playing, although I hate that club, but how well they were playing in the first half against Chelsea, that was a pretty canny draw that Chelsea got. So these were the two games that were very contrasting to what they could have been. But overall, a pretty expected first game week of the season.
I slightly disagree with the Liverpool Chelsea thing. I think apart from the first 20 minutes, I think Chelsea were by and large the better side. I mean, if it's not a canny draw, Chelsea should have won that game and should have won it very, very convincingly. But because I don't think Liverpool still look like a complete team, and to make matters worse, both of their targets have accepted moves to Chelsea. So those are apart from not winning on the pitch, they're not winning off it as well. Wali Bhai, first of all, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. My question to you is, based on the first game week of the season, do you think City still remain the team to beat?
Well, yes, City. I think everyone has been saying that because Manchester City are a team on fire with Pep Guardiola as the manager, with Erling Haaland up front, and even with the kind of business that they do, they got in Guardiola, another quality defender, and you have the likes of Phil Foden, who has been on and off, but despite being on and off, he's still one of the more consistent players. So once you could say your bench player is actually firing, then it just goes to show that you are the proper team. You are the team to beat. So yeah, Manchester City are definitely right up there. Unless everyone has this expectation that they will win the league, unless they do something, they self-destruct, unless they become too casual somewhere down the line, unless there are a few injuries that actually hurt their camp. If that happens, then there might be a chance for any other club. And the other thing is for City to not win the league, we have to make sure and that City do not reach 90 points, because I don't think any other team is capable of actually going past 90 points at this point of time, barring Manchester City. So if it's anywhere close to 80, 85, then I think there will be a title race, like there was a title race last season with Arsenal finally falling off the tree in the final few games. So if that does happen, then you can say it's game on. Well, winning the treble, probably it does fill the belly of plenty of players, but at the same time, you never know. It might make them want more. It's going to be interesting to watch it. However, I feel that Chelsea.
Your voice is getting a little muffled, so can't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Much better, yeah.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I think Chelsea might be the surprise package this season, considering the fact that they've done good business. And apart from that, they have a new manager who is experienced in the Premier League. And also minusing the fact that they're not in the Champions League, Europa League, or any of the European competitions. And once they just have one, just the league to concentrate on, you never know. They could actually do something quite significant. So Chelsea, I might keep an eye on them. As for Manchester United, I'm eagerly waiting for my team to play. So yeah.
I mean, yeah. Let's just get right into it. I mean, it's been quite a while. We've seen other teams play, and while Premier League football coming back is obviously a great favor on humanity after 75 days of inactivity and watching preseason and so on and so forth. Watching your team play is just a different sort of. It's just different. It just hits different, especially when you're playing home in the nights at under lights at Old Trafford. Like there is no other better sight than watching your team play in that environment. So, just by getting into the game, how are you feeling? What are your thoughts entering into the game? Are you positive? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Optimistic? What exactly is going through your mind?
Yeah, I think mixed bag of feelings is going inside me. But truth be told, I am pretty confident in this fixture. I know sorry, I was about to say Neves, but he's sold. But Wolves as a package have been a pain in the ass for Manchester United for past couple of seasons, and no better way to start the first game of the season. I have also heard that they have got a new manager, so everyone is pretty scared that the new manager bounce can also work against us. But it's Old Trafford in the nights. We are boosted with whatever we have introduced into our team. We have Onana in the sticks. We have a couple of good players up front. Although we are missing a number nine, I have heard that Marshall is back in training. Still not sure. He's one person who can get injured anywhere while walking on the street. Anywhere he can get injured anywhere. So I'm not sure about Marshall, but really excited to see the forwards of Sancho, Garnacho, and Rashford, and the midfield of Casemiro, Bruno. I am pretty sure that Mount will turn up today. Mount will turn up today in whether he gets a goal or assist doesn't matter. He just has to turn up today. And as a team, if we play good, the this Wolves team looks like a team that won't be that tough. Compared to the teams that used to get silly draws against us. So it looks like a mixed bag of feelings, but the major feeling is being confident about this fixture.
Yeah, I mean, another talking point in the chat is currently your beard, apparently, Ojis bhai. So there are a lot of questions coming on your beard. Uh, well, is this sadhana, somwar, vrat? A lot of keywords coming on in the chat. So what are your thoughts on that? What's going on?
Nothing. It's just means just like that only. Hopefully, we'll get into better shape next time when we meet. But right now, just enjoying my big beard and long hair days.
I thought when you said big, I heard. I got out of context. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Sorry. Back focus back onto the game. So Ali bhai, Ojis bhai put in a very interesting point about Wolves getting a new manager right in the cusp of the season. They have lost some of their key players in the transfer window with Neves going to Saudi, Raul Jimenez going to Fulham. So they do not have that squad that used to trouble us in the years gone by, or not even the philosophy that they used to play across. That was sit
I
back,
think
absorb
Traore
all the
also has
pressure.
gone, no?
I
Traore,
think yeah, I think
Traore.
even Traore is left. Yeah, so that's three key players gone. So and Ozil spoke about a new manager bounce, but do you think it is a new manager bounce when it is exactly the first game of the season and you haven't faced this team before? I mean, I don't think it's exactly a new manager bounce, but what are your thoughts on the entire Wolves situation currently? You're on mute.
Apologies for that. Yeah, so like I was saying, the first game of the season is basically a new manager bounce for every team because the butterflies are there in your stomach. You just want to start on a positive note, so it doesn't matter if it's a new manager or an old manager. You want to start out there with a bang, and this just reminds me of that game against Leeds United. You remember that it was us against Leeds,
Tyler
and
Adams and McKennie.
yes, so we won 5-1 if I'm not wrong. Mason Greenwood was there, Paul Pogba was there, Bruno Fernandes was there.
Okay, no, you're talking about the
I'm
another game.
talking about the other, yeah, 2 years ago, and we all thought that it's going to be one heck of a season. We are going to win the league and all that, considering the fact we came second in the previous season. So we started off with a bang against like one of our rivals, and then it all went downhill. So it doesn't matter if it's a new manager or an old manager in the first game of the season. What matters is that these guys will show the fight. I'm quite happy, quite pleased with how Eric Ten Hag has actually made us play football. I think it's going to be even better this season considering the fact that Onana is there, and I think he's going to be one of the signings of the season for us as well. And if we get another midfielder like an Amrabat or probably there's another Onana that we're in talks with, Everton's. So
Yeah.
if one of those two come, I think they would be those under the radar signings who would actually not make a lot of noise but would have a big impact. But let's just see how it goes. As of now, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a positive start for United, but we'll get ahead with the predictions going ahead.
Yeah.
It's
Speaking of Onana, I just want to say one thing. It is very rare in the history of football that God gives football clubs second chances. We massively bungled with the Andre Onana transfer announcement. You will never get another opportunity for using the song Onana, What's My Name for the second time. I genuinely do not
Or
believe
you could, or
another
you could use the other
opportunity.
song. You could use the other one.
I'd rather use this one. It is better. It is
the,
Rihanna we're talking about. So it come
the
on, like it cannot go wrong. Surely we cannot bottle this the second time in a row.
no, but Delvin bhai, adding to what Wali bhai was saying. Sorry, someone is joining first.
Yeah, Paritosh has already joined. You can continue. You can
Yeah,
continue. You can continue.
actually, what I have witnessed for past couple of seasons when we have started to regroup ourselves after when I think Mourinho left after debacle. So it's that we do not either we ignore the fact or we do not understand what a football season is about. It's not about performing for 2 3 game weeks. It is for performing almost every game week in and out, and somehow we always get the patterns going. We get the good games, we get the goals, like the Leeds United. I remember a season with Mourinho also when we came second, where we had 3 clean sheets in our first 3 games. So it's
4-0
like
FC.
we are not.
You were scoring 4 in every game.
Yeah, for so I completely understand that United know how to win certain game weeks, and where Eric Ten Hag can be a difference in the second season also, because he has done it so many times with Ajax, is how to build a team that can win the league. You have to build a team that can win the league, that can play games in a continuous positive manner for every match week, irrespective of the injuries that are happening in your club. You have to strengthen, you have to build a chemistry in the team, that even if Casemiro is banned for the next game, I want someone to step up in that CDM role and do his job. You cannot be another Casemiro, but you have to be yourself and do the job. And over the past few seasons, I'm seeing that we get the right patterns, we get good games, we get into the finals, but we are not converting them into the trophies. And this can only be done when every player, irrespective if he plays regularly or not, irrespective of if anyone is injured or not, or is someone banned for the next game, you have to turn up to be your best self in every match week. And this has to happen this season, because City are like going into some sort of zone that they will be unbeatable. This can be turned into Bundesliga. Premier League can turn into Bundesliga. So not only Manchester United, but because I love the club, I follow the club, I am saying that with reference to Manchester United, that we have to learn how to win the league by continuously performing. We cannot expect other teams to fall. We have to expect to pick ourselves up above the rest, and that has to be the major change in the team this time.
Yeah, I think I totally get the point about us being competitive, but I think I was having a conversation with my friends, and he said that in order for the Premier League to have a title race or be competitive, it has to not only be a two-horse race, it has to be at least 3 or 4 teams that are competitive at least till March. Only then there is a chance of City not letting up that much. But apart from that, if it's a two-horse race, then you might as well put your house mortgage on City winning that, because no one can do two-horse races better than Man City at this point in time. Like, take Arsenal, take Liverpool over the years, take us in that 17-18 season, the 2021 season. It has always been a two-horse race, and every time City have emerged victorious out of it all. We have Paritosh Bhai with us on the stream. Paritosh Bhai, warm welcome. My blood is trying to figure out his screen configurations, and he's finally got one right. So Paritosh Bhai, entering into this game, I think we all are confident. We will obviously have some new faces getting into it. Uh, who is the player that you're most looking for, like looking forward to? Like, I mean, it can be any of the old players. I think a lot of them have. A lot of them have had good preseasons. A lot of them have had preseasons not exactly up to the mark, but then there is potential out there. So, who exactly are you looking forward to performing in this game?
I'll in this game particularly, I'd say one name that stands out for me is Alejandro Garnacho, and
Okay.
that has been the case for a while now. That is one player that I want to see continuously in the side because I believe he's a top talent and he should be given continuous games. Else than that, I'll give you three youngsters and three players in general. Three youngsters that I'd like to have some kind of role in games is Facundo Pellistri, Alejandro Garnacho, I've already told you, and another one is Kobe Meno. These are three players that I want to feature in the side regularly. Or even if you can replace Kobe Mano because he is injured and he is not the player that you want straight away breaking into the team. I
Paritosh by
want Ahmad.
Pellistri is very close to leaving on loan.
Alone, he's on low.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. Either that or one player if I can remove from them, then it will be Ahmad Diallo.
Yeah,
He's
That
also
was
now
injured.
left
this
out.
is now this is very
He's also
interesting. What
injured.
Manchester United board is not sanctioning Pellistri loan right now because
Uh,
of they want to exactly analyze what has happened to
the
Diallo,
situation. Yes.
and how long will it take to Diallo be back on the pitch. So it can
Yeah.
get interesting. But what I'm hearing is that the agent of Facundo Pellistri is already looking for clubs, and
Hmm.
he's discussing with Manchester United to find the right club for to loan Pellistri.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong in
Yeah,
doing that
exactly.
because that is the kind of state Manchester United is in that you can't give these players continuous run. And we have seen, if you've seen last season, because I wasn't able to follow Amad Diallo in Sunderland, but I watched the games when it all concluded and I watched the goals and everything that he performed there. He was a different player altogether with the confidence that they gave him with every game he was featured in. So that is one player that I want in the side. So these are the youngsters that I want. Else, if I say three players, I'd say uh, I'd say Mason Mount, Jadon Sancho, and Alejandro Garnacho. These are the three players in general that I want to be featured in the side because if you have paid big money for these players, else than Garnacho, that you feature them consistently in the side. And let's see, because I think Jadon Sancho for him this could be a make or break season.
Yeah,
I
Garnacho
think
has done so well in the past season that he's not a youngster anymore. He's
yes,
not counted
But
Garnacho.
as a
people tend to
youngster.
forget he's still 19. He's still
Yeah,
Yes.
19.
so Garnacho, that's what I'm saying. That Garnacho still has time at, and he has performed at a level that he doesn't have any pressure as of now. But for Jadon Sancho, this is a make or break season, I think. So for Jadon Sancho, I think Jadon Sancho, Mason Mount, and Garnacho are three players I'd be eyeing on.
Speaking about Jadon Sancho, very, very interesting topic that you brought out, Paritosh, by about Jadon Sancho. Where exactly do you guys see him play? Do you see him play on the left? Do you see him play on the right? Do you see him play as a 10? Do you see him play as a false 9? Because what we have noticed in preseason is Ten Hag has gone ahead and gone full experiment role, especially as far as Jadon Sancho is concerned. He's played him in all the four positions with varying degrees of success. But the most successful he's been in preseason is playing at that false 9.
Also,
Now, yeah. So, where do you see Sancho playing in this game if you believe that Sancho is potentially starting? Because I personally feel that the 11 that started against Lens in the preseason friendly is going to be the exact 11 that starts this game, with only the exception being either Dalo or Wan Bissaka taking that right back spot, which is a bit touchy at the moment. I still believe it's 60-40 to Dalo currently, but that is the only spot that will have a little bit of competition or a little bit of doubt as far as I'm concerned. Apart from that, I don't see any changes. But throughout the course of the season, where do you see Sancho playing? This question is to all three. Whoever who wants to take the floor can go ahead and do.
I I, I think it's a false nine if I am false nine on the right wing because we've seen him when he's able to drop back a bit and then make play in the attacking positions. Then he is a better player rather than a proper winger. If you want him just swinging in crosses and going for the runs, that is not quite the role that he plays. He is a more creative player not exactly the cam role. If you associate one role to him, it's not exactly the cam. I think the false nine, along with going to the right and then cutting inside with another player and making plays, that is the position that favors him the most. So yeah, I think that is the position that he should be going forward with this season, at least at the start of the few games, because Hoyland is not going to play as of now. So I think Jadon Sancho at the false nine position with the Rashford from the left and I think Garnacho
Anthony.
from the right. Garnacho or
Anthony from
Anthony,
the
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I believe that Garnacho should be given chances from the start as well. But I think during the start of the season, Anthony would be the preferred role for the
Yeah,
Eric Ten
precisely.
Hag.
What about you, Alibai? What are your thoughts on this whole Sancho position saga?
I also believe that the false nine could actually redeem his career at Manchester United, because in order to be a false nine, you need to be a highly intellectual football player, which he is. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case in terms of him succeeding over here at the club, because whenever he's been put, I think majority of the times he's been put towards the left, and he came in as a right winger. And we all saw that he had that burst of pace in Borussia Dortmund. But as soon as he signed for United, that pace wasn't there. Especially if you compare it to a Garnacho or a or a Marcus Rashford, and which is why I believe he would actually be a success as the false number nine, because he's point number one. He's a very unselfish player. He looks to actually bring in other teammates into positions of attack. So once he gets those two overlapping runners, be it your wingers or be it your fullbacks, I think he's going to be a danger. Secondly, his touch is good, and he's able to dribble the ball quite well. You do not expect him to be a Lukaku who's just going to touch the ball and it'll go flying off his feet. So the ball sticks to him. I'm quite glad with that. So it's I'm not throwing a comparison, but it's going to be something of what Pep Guardiola did with Lionel Messi somewhere back as the false number nine. I'm not comparing once again, guys, before you actually start saying stuff to me. But yeah, Jadon Sancho, he's a high IQ player. If you play him at number nine as the false number nine, he will make room. He will make space for other runners. He will create a lot of goals. So I think the false nine would be the best position for him to start.
Alright. Ojis bhai, what about you? What are your thoughts on this Sancho riddle or the Sancho mystery? Where do you see him play? At least for this game, for the Wolves fixture, at least.
If he is going to start, so he is going to play occupy the central role, and Rashford on the left and Anthony on the right. But in long run, for me, Sancho is always going to need goal scorers around him. He need goal scorers around him. He need players that can convert the opportunities. Otherwise, Sancho is a waste anywhere he plays. You can play him even in like a lone striker somewhere wandering around there, and still he will be a waste because he needs other players to convert the opportunities. He's like Valibai said, has high football IQ. He likes to shift himself from one wing to another because he can do it. He is smart enough. But the problem is that you cannot leave him alone there. You cannot make him just be that finisher that you're expecting from someone else. You can always have Bruno, Casemiro, and Sancho with Anthony or any other right winger that you have in your squad, and definitely Garnacho or Rashford. But you have to start a number nine in front of him. You need someone to score goals. And if that can happen, Sancho can be an asset anywhere on the pitch. It's Cam, CF, LW, RW, LM, RM, whatever it is. Sancho can do whatever you want because he is jack of all trades and right now master of none. So it's something that Sancho can be used against teams that are not giving the spaces. He can be a very good team player, but right now, not the person that I want to start continuously because really he has to. Ten Hag and the club needs to understand what role exactly is Sancho playing because it's not clear to me. He's definitely not a centre forward or a lone number nine.
So what I believe is, while you're right about Sancho having goal scorers around him also, but what he needs also are runners around him where he can play those quick 1-2s, where he plays those gives and goes. that is also what made him a very different proposition while he was at Dortmund. So that is what I feel. I think he needs runners also, but then he has all the qualities. He has everything that is there to be a success at the club. But I don't exactly know what's hindering him.
He
Also,
needs
like
games.
Paritosh Bhai said,
He
games. All
needs
right,
games
fair
as well.
enough. Yeah, I
Because
think he.
he's a
Yeah,
player who needs confidence. I think he's a player who needs confidence, and for that to happen, he needs to consistently develop chemistry with other players. I think Hoyland's inclusion will benefit him massively because he needs that kind of uh, powerful player that can break lines and score the chances that are created. So that is going to be the case, but I believe that he's going to have a different role than we have seen him in in a Manchester United shirt in this particular season.
I mean, good lord, Hoyland can run, man. That guy just he is fast. He is fucking fast, dude. Like seriously, one player who I am very excited to look is Andre Onana, man. Like this is going to be the first time that we're going to have an actual keeper who knows what to do with the ball at his feet. Uh,
And
and
he's a
this is
pretty
something.
decent shot stopper also.
Oh
He
yes,
cannot
absolutely.
escape from
Yeah,
runs. Like
yeah,
everyone is
and
paying.
He gets caught high out. He gets caught high outside the D at times because when you play with players like him, you tend to go forward a bit. But that is the case with every key keeper that plays a high line. That is with
You
also
cannot
that is
fuck up around him.
also
You
yeah
cannot fuck up
also
around him.
because our backline is stupid. We don't know how to play a high line. That was just
no,
one pass which did him in, and that was not even Onana's fault. Like
no.
Varane was
Nahin.
literally there, and that was such a shit pass from Dalo.
That is, I
Yeah,
think,
exactly. Cannot fuck up.
that is the kind of that is the kind of deal you make when you play football like that. We saw that with the derby under Ole at Old Trafford, where Scott McTominay scored from 40 yards. That was because
That was
Ederson was
the
coming there.
Edison. Yes,
So we have seen this time in Liverpool when they conceded against Aston Villa, where they lost 7-2. If you remember, they were trying to play a high line, and Aston Villa were able to counter them with quick pace. Jack Grealish was brilliant at that particular game. So we have seen this time and again when you are playing this kind of football, this is bound to happen. And I'll tell you now that this will be at least 2-3 games we'll see where we'll be in shock that how has this
I
happened.
think complete season. I think this will be take a
full
complete
season.
season to
It'll take
develop.
a exactly.
We are getting to be
United.
joked around. We are getting to be memed around. We are going to have
United
memes of
fans,
Onana fucking up.
United fans do not have a habit of watching a keeper who plays a high line, who sweeps. The only experience we have is Fabian Barthez, and I think most of us did not even start watching the game when Fabian Barthez was our
No,
keeper.
but if you look back when he played, if you watch the highlights, and even if you interact with fans who have watched them, na, it was very frustrating for Manchester United because and I think in one particular game, if I remember correctly, Roy Keane booted him because he came forward twice
Isn't
and
that
just
what he
slipped on the
does?
first.
Isn't that what he does? Otherwise, also.
No, but still, we conceded in quick succession twice in the first half, I think.
Sir,
And
Alex
I think
Ferguson aged 10 times watching Barthez play for Manchester United. So it's see, this kind of football will take some time to get used to. Lot of memes are going to come up. We are going to mess up so much. And
Nah, I don't
when
think we're
this
going to
get
mess up a lot. There will be mess ups, that's for sure. There is going to be mess up, but it's not going to be a lot. I mean,
but
this guy just literally came out with big dick energy saying that whatever mistakes are there, I'm going to take
yes,
responsibility for it.
being the big
That
man,
is
being the big
that is
man.
as big a giga chat move as they come. He's not going to give two shits
The
about what
ex,
Dwight York is saying,
ex,
what Roy Keane is bollocking him at halftime. He ain't going to give two shits about it. This guy's going to do his job. He's going to win us games. And I am pretty certain that he's going to have at least two assists this season. At least two assists this season.
I think
You know, in
we'll see a more evolved football under Eric Ten Hag this particular season. There are going to be huge meme moments, that is a given, but the football will be brilliant in phases. I think so. That is what we are dealing with at the moment. That's the
I
trade they
feel
are
in,
to make.
in order
That
to
is the that.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
like
Go ahead.
I was saying that in order for Onana to actually succeed, our defenders, our backline have to be precise with their passing. If they're good enough,
Oh,
then we
absolutely,
will.
man.
Then we
Absolutely.
can like we can rip apart teams in the transition because
Oh,
Onana
absolutely.
Mm.
is
Yes,
press
yes,
resistant. He
yes.
is press resistant. You
I
cannot charge on him. He's so
Vali
calm.
bhai, don't
Yeah.
you think Casemiro is the most crucial middle point for the game
The entire
transition to
defense
happen?
becomes very crucial.
I
Not only Casemiro, that
Each and
entire
everyone.
backline becomes very. Yes, exactly.
may,
I think
Even
each
because
and every
Licha
because
because
too.
I think Ten Hag's
Licha
philosophy
and
belongs.
Varane.
Yeah. Go on. Go on. Go on.
Licha and Varane. I think Casemiro, obviously, because he's a pivot, he's going to be important. But I
Mhm.
think the duo of Varane and Martinez, they are going to be essential because our fullbacks are going to run forward. These are the two players which will have to run back and quickly get back the ball when there are chances created from the opposition, and that will be a plenty of times, along with Lindelof, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
I also
Lindelof
believe
will.
that right back position is going to be a little bone of contention. Dallo looked touchy in preseason for me. I'm not going to make two bones about the fact. And I'm not speaking out of an Aaron Van Bissaka bias also, but I have seen Dallo be very touchy in preseason. That goal apart, he's had iffy moments. He's had heart in the mouth moments, squeaky bum moments, and all. And while Van Bissaka has not exactly had the greatest of preseasons either, he's had a pretty decent. He's had an Aaron Van Bissaka type of preseason, but I think maybe just maybe I wouldn't mind start this
Yeah,
game like
You
Bisaka
have
has done way
switched.
better.
Yes, you have switched your statement two times in the whole paragraph that you
fight
made
me,
right now.
fight me, fight
I'm
me.
not fighting. I'm just pointing out the change in the stance. I'm not speaking from a bias. Oh, but my boy Aaron.
It is
No,
what it
but
is, bro. It is what it is. It is what it is. Aaron's my boy. The spider from Croydon
then
is gonna stunt.
even I didn't realize that the right back problem will be so immediate, considering what happened last season when both the players were playing so well that they were competing against each other. Pretty. I know I'm again being premature, but right back is an issue for Manchester United because we have two different kind of players playing different kind of football, and neither of them are succeeding to the 100% levels that both can give. And this lackluster development in the team can hamper the title race, irrespective whether it exists or not. But to have a quality team, you need the players to be at the best level. And both the players being good at few things are not completely giving out what exactly we need from that position. And that is why personally it's a issue for Manchester United. Lot of issues, but right back is like elephant in the room.
Yeah.
The two.
Uh,
Yeah. Go on.
yeah. So, Vaima, what I was saying is that now we know we don't exactly know how Wolves are going to play. As far as because I think Gary O'Neill was appointed 3 or 4 days into the 3 or 4 days before kickoff, uh, pretty much. So now I've watched Bournemouth a little bit in isolation. They play the similar way, although they are a little more expansive with the ball. As in, the Bournemouth side under Gary O'Neill did not exactly fall afraid of holding the ball for a longer period, like if that's what I want to try to get to. So what type of a game are you expecting against us from the Wolves side, especially? Keep in mind they've lost three of their key players. They've appointed a new manager right at the 11th hour. So if you take things on face value, there are a lot of things that are stacked against them. Add to the fact that they're playing away. So, what exactly are you expecting from this Wolves side in terms of gameplay, in terms of their structure and their solidity?
I think they will sit deep. They know that they will be playing Manchester United in the first game of the season under lights against um, under in front of a roaring crowd, 75,000 people. So yes, they will sit deep, and knowing that Eric Ten Hag's Manchester United significantly well in the league by finishing third, they will know that they are high in confidence. They have some sort of a philosophy. So yes, I think that they're going to be sitting deep. They will look to absorb all the pressure and hit us back on the counter. So that's where we need to be careful because in the preseason friendlies, what we saw was that when it came to us actually having the making those passes out from the back within 3 or 4 seconds. We were transitioning into the opposition's box. But if we somehow lose the ball, there are quite wide spaces which are created, and that could lead to a counter. So that is something which we need to be careful of. And like we've already addressed it, that Onana has a tendency of coming off the line. So that is something we need to be careful of. We have to, I think it was Xavi who said it. You need to treat a ball like it's a ball and not a bomb. So you need to actually preserve that ball, and you need to be good with your process. You need to be precise with your passes, and this is why I feel like I've mentioned earlier as well. The back line will have a huge role to play. That is where most like there will be a significant number of passes that will be made between the goalkeeper and the back line. Because as soon as the ball comes to Bruno, you will not expect him to be the Iniesta or the Xavi to actually do little 1-2s. He's going to hoof it, or he's going to make the final third pass. That is something which we can also expect from Mount as well as Casemiro. So our centre backs, our right back and left back, and our goalkeepers will have good roles. As for our in terms of transition, the wingers they will be into play. I think Marcus Rashford, although he did not have a good season pre-season, I think he will be relishing his opportunity once again. He's going to be a danger. And Garnacho, I think it's going to be Garnacho's season this time around. I was quite sad that he wasn't given the number 7, but nevertheless, I still feel that I think with the way that he's actually progressing, his career trajectory is on the up, and I have high hopes for this guy. And like I said, I think Jadon Sancho as false 9 is something which I want to see.
I think it's for the better that he's not received the number 7 shirt. Because you do not want that burden at 19 years old, especially at this time and age, where everything will be closely scrutinized. And if you see the guy outside the pitch, he is a colorful character. He likes to have his fun. I mean, he is 19 at the end of the day, so like there are things that can and definitely will be used against him, provided if he had the number 7 jersey, and it would add more scrutiny. I think it's for the better that he hasn't received the number 7 jersey. And also, it is time to understand for the fans that, I think it's better he doesn't. I think we might as well retire
Not
the number
right
7
now.
jersey.
No.
I genuinely believe we should. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just a number. Yes, quite some of our greatest players have worn it. But I think for the past decade or so, I think that number has lost its significance. It's lost its aura. So I genuinely believe you might as well retire it, because it only adds a lot of pressure to the player who's actually wearing it. That is what I feel about the whole jersey issue. As far as Garnacho is concerned, yeah, Valpa, I agree with you, because I've seen a lot of matureness in his preseason game as well. He's not looking to snatch at shots every now and then. He's looking for that pass. And he put in some really great passes in a couple of preseason games, which should have found the back of the net and didn't. So yeah, I think this is the game. This is the season, especially in the Champions League. He is going to terrorize defenses in the Champions League. That is one thing that I can be pretty certain about. And I think it's been quite a while since we've seen a United teenager light up the Champions League proper. Since Wayne Rooney burst onto the scene. So I think
if Luke Shaw was not injured in that season, he would have light up that season.
Oh yes! Oh my goodness! That this right here is sweet to my eyes. Like, look at the name next to Onana, boys. Like, please do,
And the Saka.
please. Oh yes, oh yes. This is the content that I live for. Like,
solid front three also. That's a pretty solid front.
No, and yeah, of course. I think I was right in saying that this was the Lens 11, with the exception of the right back being a bone of contention. This is pretty much the Lens 11, where Ghana starting from the left,
forward.
Anthony, Rashford centre forward. Yeah, if this is the lineup, then yeah, I'm pretty happy with the lineup. I hope that Rashford and Bruno end up scoring the goals, because I have both of them in my fantasy. So they're better bag. There are multiple conflicts of interest happening here, and also I have Onana. I've gone with the triple United, by the way. So a clean sheet would do well, and goals from Bruno and Rashford would do well. But yeah, let's talk about the lineup, guys. Like, what do you think? If this is the league, if this is indeed the starting lineup, what are your thoughts on it?
My feeling is that Rashford is best of the left. He's best of the flanks. I'm not a huge fan of Rashford as a striker, as a centre forward. It limits him to a large extent. He doesn't get to see much of the ball. Um, and yes, he is good on goal, but we cannot consider him as a poacher, out and out poacher. So if he was on the left, I would have been glad. But yes, at the same time, you have to understand Ten Hag. Martial is always injured, then Hoyland is injured as well. You have no centre forward, and I think it's too soon for him to experiment with Jadon Sancho. Probably he somewhere down the line he might do that in cup competitions. Let's see. But yeah, if it was Rashford on the left, I would have been glad. But apart from them, I think it's a good team.
Maybe in the second half he could go ahead and play around with Sancho Paulson, and provided we do have the game in the bag. If that is the case, you could see him happen in this game. But yeah, more or less, I agree with you on the lines that I think it is a tad bit early with Sancho's experimentation and all that jazz. I am very interested in seeing that Casemiro Mount double pivot or whatever it is. If you're playing a 4-3-3, then it will be three. But yeah, I'm very excited to see that pivot because you have a destroyer and a guy who is very well at doing that box to box role, and he's done that time and again for Chelsea and England as well. Ojasbhai, what are your thoughts on the lineup? Like, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the lineup. Of course, I am. But what about you? What are your thoughts on the
Uh,
lineup?
I think we are using the resources in the best way possible, whatever we have of them. We have put in a very strong team if this is indeed the final team. It's something that quite interesting is whatever jersey Garnacho wears, he is the number 7 for Manchester United right now in the team. He's going to be a very important player in attacking teams, like trying to break the setup of how the teams are managing themselves in the back. So as soon as you have got a player that is causing a headache to the opposition, like I remember a game where Matty Cash handled him very well against Aston Villa. It was a pretty solid performance by Matty Cash. So there are
That
going to
was
be
new
maybe
manager bounce. That was new manager bounce.
yeah, there's bouncing quite low right now with what has happened this weekend. But it's something. There are going to be games where the right back will be the better of Garnacho. But it's something like I always believe that I admire Rashford a lot, but he has a set of principles of being the attacker. He has a set of principles that he follows. That I'm going to play like this. I'm going to commit like this. I want to do the same thing that I do, just cut in and try to score on the near post of the goalkeeper. It's like I'm not saying that Rashford is not that brilliant. I'm just saying that he has to redevelop himself. He has to always think that what Arsenal I have in my in my game, that I can turn around and be that complete forward that Manchester United expects me to be. Again, I'm saying you will watch in this game. He will be doing the same thing, cutting in, getting on his strong foot and trying to score near post of the goalkeeper. I personally believe that this can also hinder Rashford performance this season because it is now getting expected. I should say we are expecting of this from him, but it's something that I want Garnacho to play alongside Rashford to just make Rashford think that a kid is playing right beside me who is doing way better things on the ball than me, and I have to find myself again to be that player that I was when I was 19. And I can be that player. I can be one of the versatile forwards again, but it will take time. It will take time for Manchester United and Marcus Rashford to again ignite that thing because he had pretty good season last time, but he needs to just evolve himself now. It's high time.
I mean, I kind of get the point what you're trying to say here, but I think Ten Hag also is trying to take stock of the situation. Like Walibai said, there is no out and out striker right now. Walibai's boy Martial is always injured every now and then Hoyland is not exactly up to speed as far as his health is concerned too. So I think right now he's he's trying to stretch it. Let's see how it works. I think if Rashford does manage to make those runs, I think he's a lethal beast anyways. And I think it is a good thing that Garnacho is being played on the left. I like you earlier said about the Sancho thing, or just by that Sancho is a jack of all trades and master of none. I think we have a lot of players who fit that category where they are played across throughout the forward line or they're played in multiple positions, but they're not, masters of that one position. I think what Ten Hag is trying to do with the Garnacho situation is make him an ever present in that particular position so that he is at his strongest there itself, which is something that we have been lacking throughout. We need a specialist. And I think that is what he's looking for. He wanted a specialist left-sided centre back. He got Martinez. He needed a specialist CDM. We got Casemiro. He needs a specialist right back, which he hasn't got yet. But let's see with these two what is going on. And he has a specialist left winger now, or at least he's trying to mold one. So all that we need right now is a cohesive performance. And I think it's only a matter of time before we, finally get into the groove. I mean, look at Spurs, for example, yesterday. Like, they looked all over the place, and bar Maddison, who had an excellent debut, I did not think that their performance was that good. Their keeper looked shaky. Their defense are a bunch of clowns if you remove Christian Romero.
Exactly. Is the keeper of Spurs? I have not followed that guy.
He is a keeper from Syria, Vicario. He used to play for Empoli up until last season, and he's now playing for Spurs. He looked very nervy. He did not exude the confidence of a keeper who has been doing this for a long time. So that's what I felt. And Spurs were easily getting cut apart by Brentford. I mean, when you have Rico Henry dunking on you, I think questions need to be asked of your defense. Like, seriously. So that is what it is, man. Like, seriously. So coming back to the game,
They played Brentford.
They played Brentford, yes. Yeah, they did. They played Brentford.
I think Tony is banned for 6 months, 6 to 8 months.
Till January. He's banned till January. He's technically banned for 6 months if we count the season, but his ban took effect in May, so more or less 8 months, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Spurs were pretty lucky that Brentford didn't
He's not able to train till September. He can't enter Brentford's club premises, training ground or any sort of thing till September.
Hard life for a person trying to make some money out of the teams. What else we can say?
I think he's got a far lesser punishment than what was expected. I thought he was
being sarcastic.
No, I genuinely thought that he was going to go out for at least a year and a half. Like, 270 betting allegations is not. It's not cool,
addiction.
Man. Like,
it's addiction.
He has been diagnosed with a gambling addiction. He has officially been. That report has come out. He's officially been addressed to have a gambling addiction. Like, bro, imagine a scenario where he's put in 270 bets and he's lost all of them. Bro, why are you betting in the first place?
He has the money bets, right? But the point was that Tony was not there, and I believe they missed the striker. I watched 35 minutes of that game.
Mbeumo did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
Mbeumo did a pretty good job.
Tony being there were lapses in the Spurs backline.
Absolutely.
Because I think Romero got subbed.
Right after scoring the goal, man. Just right after scoring the goal. And Postecoglou was so irritated that he didn't manage to call out as a concussion sub. He just brought him out as a normal substitute. That is why he was mind-fucked at the start that, oh my God, I actually forgot this.
So, Davinson Sanchez has submitted a transfer request.
Shit. He is shit. He and Emerson Royale were two of the most useless players in that pitch, and somehow Emerson Royale has come out with that goal. I just don't know how has he done that, bro. Like, seriously, dude, shit, this guy, man. He's literally scammed the career out of Barcelona and Tottenham, man. He's still there. There's credit to him, fair play to him for that. Like, I mean, we're just 4 minutes away from the lineups to officially come out. But till then, I think let's talk about the contenders. I think. Do you think, Waliwai, do you think you really see Arsenal challenging once again this year?
Yeah, I think we can. But keeping in mind that they're in the Champions League, we you could think that they will go deep in either of those competitions, either be it the Champions League or either be it the Premier League, because now finally they have a complete identity established in front of them. They know who the star guy is, be it Saka, Martinelli. They have a young team. Uh, they know they now have the pain of actually succumbing in the final few moments of the Premier League and not winning
Timber
the
is out for
competition.
6 months. Timber is out for
Oh yeah,
six
that's a
months.
massive blow. Very unlucky, and we dodged a bullet somehow, because if that would have happened with us, I think I would have been heartbroken, because Timber was, uh, to an extent, I think it wasn't even better signing than Declan Rice. I think he would have had a much bigger impact in Arsenal than Declan Rice. And although you could say Declan Rice is a big name, but the way that he was actually, the confidence that was oozing once again from the back with whenever Julian Timber got the ball, and with the way he was progressing the ball up front, that was something which they needed. You could say they already have that in Zinchenko from one end, but Julian Timber would have just added another feather to their cap. But unfortunately for them, that's a big blow. It's quite sad. And
Pretty good centre back cover also. Pretty good centre back cover.
yeah, and at the same time,
Yeah, actually,
I'll have to criticize Arteta and the medical team for Arsenal, because once he was injured, he kept on playing. He said that he didn't want to come off, but in a way, it
I think it
aggravated
was
his
the
injury.
second. I think it was the second tackle that did him,
Hmm.
because he fell off without any sort of contact or something. I did not exactly think that the first tackle was that harmful too. So I could
Hmm.
understand him playing on with the first tackle, but then it was that second tackle that made it seem like, okay, that's not good. And I think it has been a pretty bad few days for players across the globe, where
And Kunku.
you've seen Nkunku had a knee injury, then you
Hmm.
have Timber getting an ACL, then immediately after that, I think even Tyrone Mings has gone on with an ACL, with an
Yeah, he
ACL,
is out for six
and
months.
One, I have one
yeah,
question for both of you guys. What do you think
yeah, go on.
about the new stoppage time that's been added? Like,
Nah,
are you a fan of it?
no, I'm not a fan of
Personally,
it.
I love it.
I like it.
I
Personally, I
love,
love
Personally,
it.
I like it. I honestly like
I
it.
love I love the shithousery. I love when it's 2-1, when it's 90 minutes, and then you are taking the piss, you are wasting time. That is what Premier League football
But
is.
you like,
Like, there is a
but
reason.
but what if you're on the receiving end of it and you're facing Atletico Madrid or
No,
Newcastle United?
I'm still in for it. I have not changed my stance. Like, of course you will get frustrated when it happens to you, but then that is the game. Like, you've seen so many great teams who have shithousery as the bedrock of their success. Look no further than Atletico Madrid. You take that away from that side, there is nothing there. You imagine what this is going to have an impact on Atletico's season. That team is full of
Simeone getting
thugs.
sacked.
That team is full of thugs, Wali bhai, Ojas bhai. That team
Yeah,
is full of thugs. You take away the dark arts from them, they are jack shit. Like,
I get
dark
that.
arts
I
has
get
been,
that.
yeah, it's been an
But
integral part of football since a very, very long time, man.
to
And
me,
I just love it.
I,
to
I
me,
I think it's a pretty good decision. I think it's a pretty good decision.
because I remember that there used to be stats coming up, especially when Atletico Madrid and Newcastle played. The ball used to stay in play. Like, there was a stat, like in the first half, the ball stayed in play for 25 minutes. In the second half, it stayed for like 27 or 28 minutes. And like, we as fans of football, we want to actually see like, we want to see proper footballing action rather than just people falling around and wasting time. I think it's going to improve a lot of. I think, secondly, what it's going to do is that there are going to be less divers. There are going to be less people who are actually going to pretend an injury. So, Neymar, I think that's the decision. That's the reason why he actually went to Al Hilal eventually, unless it's being implemented there as well.
It's
So, I think,
always money,
As
Wali
of now,
bhai. It's
I know.
always
As of
money, Wali
now, I
bhai.
think it's only the Premier League. While
yeah,
I think
I was
the
a
team
fan of
news is
it in the
out,
World
and
Cup as
it's,
well.
yeah,
I was a fan of it in the World Cup as well.
the team news
Yeah,
is out. It's
I
exactly the same 11. It is the
Hmm.
same 11.
it's then
That
it's a
it is the
pretty
same
good
11.
lineup.
That's my guy. Yeah, this is music to my ears. I can officially go on Twitter and start my Aaron Wan-Bissaka propaganda from this season onwards. Like,
I
You know, man, the thing with Van Bissaka is that he was a massive improvement last season, but I also remember a game in which it was against Everton. Yeah, now I remember the game. So there was I think Anthony, he shot from outside the box. The
he
keeper
did not
saved
take the
whatever
shot.
it was.
That is
It
the
was
problem.
no, no, there was an empty goal right in front of him with no
He
keeper.
missed
Aaron
it. He
Van
missed it.
Bissaka.
Ah, yeah,
He
yeah, yeah, he
missed
missed
it.
it.
I'm like, it's
My
harder
guy's
to.
never seen.
No,
My guy's never seen. My guy's never gone close to the goal line, bro. The opposite goal line. My guy's never
that was
gone that
unbelievable.
far.
That was
my
unbelievable. I
guy.
was in shock. I was like,
My,
what is this?
No, no, it's something that very interesting to see how what kind of relationship he develops with Onana on the pitch, and it's not that it going to be catchy or being an attractive play, but if somehow Bisaka can get the space and the right pass from Onana, I've seen some instances where Bisaka has made fun of opposition through his
oh
trickery
yeah.
and smart work.
Who who can forget him sending Rodri and Bernardo Silva out for a kebab at Old Trafford? Come on, like seriously. Like
Like
I mean,
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be
it is,
interesting.
it is, it is. And there was this interview which came out, with Aaron Van Bissaka speaking, and he touched up on a lot of things. And
He
I
was
have only
speaking.
gone
That
ahead.
was a lot of things.
That is, yeah, yeah. And I have only gone ahead to love that guy even more than I love right now. Like, I genuinely am. I am the Aaron Van Bissaka fan club. I have no shame in admitting that. That's my boy. And he spoke about, increasing his goals and assist numbers. He said that he's going to make a very conscious effort. That only makes me add to the excitement of the fact that Aaron is going to have a brilliant season this year.
You cannot hate that guy. He's a thorough professional.
Yeah, there are still
He
people who
just
do hate
has
him.
to.
There are still people who do hate him. Let me make
Yeah,
this very clear.
out of so many people playing for Manchester United, you choose to hate people who are professional about the game, who are
Exactly.
professional about the jobs. And Bisaka is trying to do whatever he can do best, but sometimes Delvin Bhai, it's not enough. And even you both will see through this season that right back is an issue for Manchester United.
Oh yes, but with that being said, if he does have what 5 goals, 8 assists, or 6 goals, 9 assists, I am going to hold receipts. I am going to come for everyone's throats that my boy Aaron is back. With that being said, I think we've covered everything there is to cover. Uh, we've
I
spoken about
just
everything.
I just read a funny tweet that Liverpool are now launching a bid for Al Ittihad midfielder Fabinho. Now that Lavia has chosen Chelsea, both
No,
midfielders love him.
it's. I don't know. I don't have that much knowledge of the what is happening in that club. But was Fabinho right of being sold in? Because I'm pretty sure he is not old.
I I don't care. I don't care. Like I pray for their downfall. Like that is my daily
Like
reason of
like
getting up now.
Chelsea are going into the season with three holding midfielders, and Liverpool have none.
Quality
it's
midfielders, all three of them.
it's like
Good
it's
midfielders.
like it's like what is happening on two sides of England. It's unbelievable. They have Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. They can create a ruckus
Enzo's
in
going to
mid.
play as an eight. Enzo's definitely going to play as an eight. Then
Enzo can give tackles that can win the ball and break the legs simultaneously. You
he's an
don't mess
Argentinian. What
around.
else do you expect?
You,
He's an
I'm not sure what is happening there because Liverpool is turning out to be the like everyone is rejecting Liverpool. It's like I'm finding it so funny. How is this
should
possible?
you should. It is supposed to be funny. what is
People are
what is
comparing
wrong with
Klopp
you?
to
Just like,
Wenger in his final few years. They're comparing Klopp to
yeah,
Wenger in his last few years.
absolutely. Yes. My guy was on coke overdose yesterday on the pitch also. It generally felt like he'd done 2 lines extra. Partosh bhai, just in case you missed it, my boy is starting. My boy is in the starting 11. Let's go. And I'm expecting 8 or 9 out of 10 performance from him.
Oh, I
And
thought 8 or 9 goals conceded.
no, he's going to score that throughout the season. Anyways, you're just in time for predictions. I would like to know what you think. What is going to be the final score? Whoever wants to start can start. Go ahead.
Wali Bhai will start.
My God, no one wants to
I think
predict.
no, I was waiting for Paritosh, but I think it's going to be United who win. It's going to be 2-0. We will find it hard in the first half, but eventually we'll score 2 goals. So I think it's going to be 2-0. Yeah.
What
It's
about you, Paritosh Bhai?
For me, I think it's going to be A 3-1. I expect Wolves to have some kind of success because we'll not be perfectly set up defensively. We'll have
All
some mistakes,
right.
and I expect Wolves to capitalize. But I think it will be comparatively easier for us to get past this Wolves side. They are a shadow of themselves. They are not the same Wolves that we struggle against time and time again. So I believe it's going to be a 3-1.
Okay. Ojas bhai, what about you?
5-0 Manchester United.
Damn. Damn. Damn.
Ambitious and
All right.
how? Ambitious and how?
How?
Yeah,
Exactly. Absolutely. Oh my God.
it's like I expect a lot, but somehow if we get a decent result, I will be
Yeah.
happy.
That is
But
why
We
you're
know.
frustrated.
We
That is why you
know.
frustrate a lot as well. Because you expect a lot, then you don't get it from Manchester United.
We
The past decade
Ojas, Paratosh,
hasn't taught you
Paratosh bro,
enough.
Volleyball, we know whom to catch after the game if it is not final. We we've already got our first scapegoat of the season, and even a ball is not being kicked off.
Look at look at look at Manchester United concede in the first 5 minutes now.
Oh, that'll be so Manchester United. That'll be so Manchester United.
And,
yeah, like
and,
Onana will be
and,
trying a
Ojas will
rainbow
be
flick.
invisible from the group.
Onana
and
will be trying a
imagine
rainbow flick,
and imagine
and we
if
would
it
concede.
is if the goal is conceded because of Van Bissaka. I might be killed right before I start my fan club for him this season.
No, but
I'm
on
Delvin,
pretty
on the
Delvin,
serious
optimistic.
note,
Delvin will switch
but
off the
we
phone.
are
Then we'll be
expect
like, fuck this shit.
even if you
Blood,
concede one, but if you play well, it's got covered up. But on serious
blood,
note,
blood was
we all can
blood was
expect a positive
misdirected.
result.
Blood was
But
misdirected.
Bud was on heroin, and he misjudged whatever
Yeah.
it is. But
Anyways,
positive
I'm
result.
pretty confident. Yeah, I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think it's going to be a 3-0 win. I think Bruno and Rashford get on the score sheet. And I am hoping for a Van Bissaka assist. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but I am hoping. It would be a great way for him to start the season. Personally, it would be a great way for United to start the season. So, all in all, I think all four of us are predicting a win. Let's see who gets closer to the prediction. And with that being said, we come to an end of the first preview of the season. We all are excited. We are less than 50 minutes away from kickoff.
One
Whatever
final joke
happens,
for
yeah, go ahead.
Liverpool fans, if you can read it. Can you read it? Is it
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
possible?
cannot.
pretty clear.
I cannot.
It's like it's written
Turn
Liverpool.
down the
Sorry,
brightness. Turn down the
yeah.
brightness. Brightness turn down.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Yeah.
Lavia Fernandez Caicedo. Now read the first words of these three. And let's see.
Liverpool Football Club.
Acha, the
Yeah,
Liverpool
and
banter was going around, no?
yeah,
So
I have
Chelsea fans are
another.
quite.
The fans are empty from everywhere. They have stopped using
Yeah,
X,
it's
not Twitter
if it
anymore.
happened to Manchester United, na, like
We'll be too.
the world
We'll
would
be
have
too.
fallen apart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
yeah,
would
yeah.
have fallen apart
Oh my
because
God, three
even if
targets. These
Even if Manchester United is not in Champions League, we got like Martinez and Casemiro and Anthony.
But
Like
we can't. This can't happen to us because every other player Manchester United is interested in. So you can't really tell that which player has rejected. If you are
that
interested
is
in 15, 20 players,
I,
how
I
can you
have
tell that
that
was
is
I
rejected?
have only seen rejections from Spain. That is Griezmann and Frenkie De Jong, two and Boateng, Jerome Boateng, in Mourinho season.
and Gareth Bale
Uh,
also, and Gareth Bale
Wait,
Ga-
also.
Gareth Bale. I,
Gareth Bale was so in love with Madrid. I don't know what
I
exactly,
think
but it's good.
Gacko also didn't wait for us. The Klopp
We
came in for
also
him in.
couldn't. We also couldn't because we didn't have money.
So that is what I'm saying. Na? You never. This is like because of how big Fabrizio Romano and this industry has become in the past 1 2 years. Because they are breaking things left, right, and center. And now LFC because they have made a bid and it's final that they have made it and it has been rejected. Every detail has come out. Na? Earlier that
Yeah,
didn't
Klopp
used to
exactly.
happen.
confirmed it. Press conference
Yeah.
in the press
Klopp,
conference.
yeah.
He
Yeah, he
confirmed
said
it in
that
the
So
we are
press
going.
conference.
We are going for a
we
number six. He said it. We looking
yeah.
for a number six in the market.
So
Embarrassing.
It,
now I have one final joke. I'm not going to say it out loud. Ojas bhai and Waliba already know what the joke is. Paritosh bhai, you don't. So I'm just going to say it. Uh, in the last three transfer windows, Chelsea have bought Koulibaly, They've bought Wesley Fofana. They've bought David Fofana. They've bought Christopher Nkunku. They've bought Kani Chukwuemeka. They've bought Noni Madueke. They've bought Nicholas Jackson. They've bought, apart from Nicholas Jackson, they've already agreed a deal for Caicedo, and now they're all but certain to land
Lavia.
Romeo Lavia. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
I mean, if you look at the starting lineup of yesterday's game, you'll find a different kind of connotation to it.
Another, I'll just give you another hint. I'll just give you
Not
another
body.
hint. The owner is American.
Yeah, I'm saying it. But I don't really want to say it. That there is a whole Django Unchained going on around here.
Oh yes.
You
Oh
already said
yes.
it.
Master's gonna get us in trouble.
You,
Oh my days! What a time to be back, guys! It has been a pleasure talking to all of you. Wali bhai, Ojas bhai,
very
Fighters
related.
bhai. Thank you so much for joining in.
Oh, this is
I
like I'm
think
not a part of this shit. I'm not a part of this argument.
मुझे घर जाना है. Anyways,
Ojas, and by the way, Ojas is a lawyer. So, if
he
there is
doesn't
any
want to
trouble,
fight.
if there is any trouble,
He doesn't want to fight our case already, so we might as well have to find someone else.
we'll find someone
Anyways,
from this.
guys, thank you so much for joining in. This has been Delvin along with Paratosh, Ojas, and Wali. Wishing all of you a good night. And also, before we sign off, wishing all of our viewers in India a very happy Independence Day in advance. And hopefully, we sign off our Independence Day with a win. And I hope to see you on the other side on a positive note, guys. Till then, do like, do share, do subscribe to our channel, do press the bell icon for getting notified for each and every video that comes out of the channel. Also, do not forget to follow us on our socials. The link is in the description below. Do not forget to join our WhatsApp group as well. It gets mad crazy in there with a lot of big man things going on. With that being said, this is good night. Take care, and I'll see you on the other side with my boys. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and GGNU to all.